Bob here, welcome back. I wanted to talk to you about popping corks. Whether you're on the beach, whether in a boat, kayak, if you're using live bait, there's a couple ways to use it, or even artificial soft plastic, such as a paddle tail. You can free line them with no weight and just use a weighted jig head hook. You can put them on a bare hook with no weight and then put a sliding sinker on it like I showed you on my pole. It is in between the swivel and the line. So you put your sinker, the sliding sinker, barrel shape or pyramid shape, put on your fishing line, and you tie on your swivel, then you tie on your leader, and then you end up with your hook. So you free line it with a weighted hook. You can put a weight on your line above the swivel and use a weightless hook, just a plain hook or a bait hook. Or you can use a popping cork. Now, all these methods, you could use soft plastic, you could use live shrimp, maybe small bait fish. Now, of course, I'm not talking about when you're using lures, such as that. This is, you never use a cork with a hard lure like that one or like that one right there. So we're talking about popping corks. Talking about fishing small live bait fish, shrimp, or soft plastic. This is one cork that is very popular. It's called a Cajun Thunder. Now, the benefits of this one, it's got sound, it's got beads on here. You got plastic beads on the top, you have brass on the bottom. I think you can hear that noise. These beads make the sound imitating the tail of a live shrimp flipping in the water. So this is different than freshwater. Freshwater sometimes, most time you want to be quiet, like for bass. But this, you want to make noise. So when you cast this out, it's going to sit straight up. You're going to take your rod tip and you're going to twitch it twice. That's going to lay it down and go through the water. It's going to make a commotion in the water. Also, give you the sound of these beads. Okay, it's laying like that. If you pop it, lays back down. These brass beads are going to come down and make a noise. Also makes a noise as you're popping it. The disadvantage is you have to tie this end onto your line, and then you tie a leader like Vanish on the bottom, maybe 2 feet, 2.5 foot deep. Then you put your hook on the end of the leader. The disadvantage is when you're drifting, fishing different areas, you're going to come across 3, 4 foot of water, 5 foot and deeper. You're going to want to adjust the depth of how far you have that hook from the cork. Standard's 2 feet, give or take. You might fish 3 foot deep. Especially if you're fishing for a shark, you want to put a big chunk of bait on, or a live pinfish, you might fish maybe a little deeper, 3 feet. When you do that, you're going to have to cut the line, the leader line, and make it longer. You can go shorter, you cut the hook off, cut the leader line, you can make it shorter. But to make it longer, you just have to replace that leader line. The other cork is, it's a popping cork, it's weighted, it's kind of hollowed out on the top. So when you cut, and what you do, you put your line, you take this peg out, you put your line through that little slit. Then you make sure that line's all the way to the back. And then you push this peg, this little green peg, and you push it in and it holds it in place. This one you can adjust. You can just pop that out. You can move it up, you can move it down, so you can fish shallower, you can fish deeper, whatever you want to do. You don't have to cut the line to adjust the depth. This makes more noise, well not noise, it makes more commotion in the water because there's a hollow area. When you're scooting that through the water, there's a little bit more of a splash, a little bit more commotion. The disadvantage, it doesn't have the beads that imitates that shrimp tail. So, to be honest with you, I don't know which one works better. Sometimes my wife will use this one a lot. I use this one because sometimes if I want a free line, say I usually got like a 2-foot leader, and then I got my weighted hook. But if the fish are in deeper water, like you were the other day, they're in about 8 foot of water instead of 3 because it's so hot here in Florida. I took the cork off. Now, I had a soft plastic similar to that, and I threw it down to the bottom. I just free-lined it to the bottom. And then I twitched it a little bit, and I started retrieving, fished it close to the bottom, 6, 7 foot of water, and that's where the trout were. They weren't up on top. They weren't 2, 3 feet below the surface. I think because there was the heat, they were farther down. So that'd be a good time to take the cork off. If you're fishing 8, 9 foot of water, especially in the summertime, if you're in the southern states, the water gets hot, the trout will probably be a little deeper. Okay, so that's the popping corks. There's really no name for that except for just a weighted popping cork. This is the Cajun Thunder. All right, see you on the next video.